Hello everybody and welcome to today's video here on the Extra channel, where we will be talking about my Tetramorium Bicarinatum. So for those who don't know, I'm currently doing a little update on all my colonies, and today it is Tetramorium Bicarinatum time. So as you can see, this right here is the full setup. It's a little bit half, I wouldn't say DIY, but we have had to do a little bit of DIY to make the tube up here fit a little bit better because it wasn't the correct size. And if you just put a little bit of electrical tape or other tapes that you can put tight on, that is easy to put on, then you can just push it in and it sticks there a lot better. Now I put a little bit too much, but that's how it is because now we had a perfect fit. So yeah, we have the Ant Cube dig fix nest right here hooked up with a WaKooshi 4-way connector and a WaKooshi S2 outwell, I think. And in here we have two liquid feeders, one with sugar water and the other one with, I think both are water, but the one to the left also had sugar at one point, but I refilled it with regular water, and I should probably just take it out and do a complete clean. But as you can see, I haven't been the greatest at cleaning out here. We do have a lot of debris from the past meals. Now I did take a big clean of this in the last weekend, but as you can see, the thing is there's so many small debris that it's quite hard to take in. It's quite impressive because I'm feeding them entire roaches only with the head cut off, and you can see right here that they are really disassembling it all. Now if we look here to the left side, we have all of this. This is the trash right here, some of the bodies, and we have this layer of soil. And that is because these ants are living in this dig fix nest. Now, if we just look here on the front, you can see that this is a nest where the ants can go in and dig their own nest. So pretty much they have settled around here. They have dug some tunnels. Now you can also see that the nest is actually not that used at the moment. It's quite empty. We do have a little bit of action down here. Now I have heated them in the bottom for the past many months, but I've decided to take a little bit of break. I don't want to overgrow them too big, but if I can just slide the camera in right here, you can see that, yeah, we have some few eggs, but the colony is actually really crowded right here, which is interesting because right over here we have an empty chamber. But for those who think, they don't look too big, well, it's because all of the brood right here is in the tube. So if we just look at the tube right here, we have so much larvae. It's a little bit hard to focus right here. Maybe if we put our hand in the background, right, that's a little bit better. But yeah, we have all of the larvae right here in the tube for some reason. I guess it suits them a little bit better. I don't know why, but yeah, and the same with the other tube over here. We also just have a ton of larvae in here. So yeah, for some reason, and since I moved them in the day one, they just started using this a lot more. So yeah, but pretty much the colony is doing fine. I mean, the thing with this dig fix nest is you either have to go in from the side, right? It's meant to you pull this out and you hydrate. Oh, you know what? That's why there's so many ants right here. Of course, that's because that's the last point I hydrated. Maybe they're telling me it's about time I hydrate them again. I hydrated them, what, 2 weeks ago or something? But then again, it also still looks quite moisty right here, so maybe not hydrate them just yet. But the cool thing with this nest is, of course, that you can also build right here on the back side. And is this just water? I think it's a little bit of a mold. Not too sure what all of this is. It's not too often I take like a proper deep look into the colony. But you can see that, I mean, except for the colony acting a little bit, I mean, what is this? It is just water, isn't it? Can't tell if there's some mites in there, but there's definitely a little mite right there. But it's probably just a little bit of grain mites, because I do have a grain mites in a few of the setups, because this one is one of the setups that is not too well cleaned. But you can see it's quite interesting to see the ants actually going around building their setups, and for some reason, oh, hang on, it was myself, I turned the lights off, oops. But the ants are just building around the different chambers, and they're not really, this nest is not ideal for them, actually. I liked it in the beginning, and I pretty much moved them in here for the video's sake. The mite documentary thing, not the mite documentary, but the video about them moving in here. My plan is to move them out and then move them into a WaKooshi Gen 4 setup once those launches, because that'll give it a little bit of a better view inside. Yes, this is what I was afraid I would find. No, it's the thing is, I think I saw some red mites on them the other day, which means that I need to... Yeah, this is the red mites, I think. I'm looking at the dots around. Maybe not. Either way, I know I have to go in and give them a little bit of a proper clean. I'm thinking of just swapping the outworld. Now, I've dealt with mites quite a few times now, and I'm not too bothered that they have mites. I know what to deal with them and how to pretty much deal with it all. And this is one of the colonies that may get mite affected without too many issues, because they have so many queens. So even if a proportion of the colony dies, I'll be able to simply take a bite out, which of course we don't want a part of the colony to die. But you can see we do have a lot of ants. I wonder, I'm a little bit... I mean, I'm never happy to see mites. I don't know if they are mites. We have some grain mites. And that's because this setup's just, it's not something I've thought too much about before right here now. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's of course cool to see them build the tunnels and all of that, but they don't use them like you would think they would. You have to hydrate from the side where the ants live, or you have to hydrate it from the top where the ants live. So there should be some kind of mesh so you can pull this out without having workers, because if I pull it out, workers will just escape, which we don't want. So I'm not really too keen on this setup. And the second thing is, if we look in the outworld right here, I don't really know why this has turned white, but it has. I can't really get this out because it's just fine dirt. So it's very hard for me to clean. I tried cleaning it and I couldn't really do it. I need to vacuum. I think it's better to just change the entire outworld. But of course, for those who don't know, if we just... and now I'm chasing the light. This remote had run out of power, and for some reason the power's back on it. So, so for those who don't know, I got this colony last year from a company known as Ant Antics right here. Tweezer right there. And I got them with 5 queens or something, and I think at one point they had over a few hundred queens. I don't know now because they're very hard to spot, but I know there's a lot of queens. And either way, I can't say the colony's doing bad, but I would like to move them out of the setup and maybe into some Gen 4 once that releases, but that's not for quite some time, as far as I'm aware. Now I'm feeding them about twice a week because I don't want to grow them too big. So I'm feeding them 2 or 3 dubia roaches, quite big ones. Like you see that last meal right here, two male roaches. Maybe that's, no, that was yesterday. I gave them 1 male roach yesterday. But yeah, I'm not doing too much to grow them. I'm just kind of having them in a stable condition. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of that nest. But yeah, that has been a little update here on my Tetramorium Bicarinatum colony. I got the colony from Ant Antics. We have a WaKooshi Gen 3 outworld right here, and it's a size, I think it's an S2, potentially an S3 outworld. And we have this Ant Cube dig fix nest, which I'm not too satisfied about. So yeah, I want to say thank you all for watching, and see you all in the next update. Bye!